Today we're going to talk about the indefinite no contact rule. And if you stick around until the end of this video, I'm going to show you the 3 different types of no contact rules and tell you which one you should be using. But I want you to stop everything you're doing, because before you even consider implementing a no contact rule on your ex, you should first figure out what kind of chance you have of getting them back, so you can make a smart decision on whether or not getting them back is a good idea or simply moving on is a good idea. Luckily, on my website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, I've put together a special quiz that's designed to do just this. If you take the 2-minute free quiz, it will tell you kind of an idea of what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. So if you're interested in taking that quiz, all you have to do is simply look in the description link below this YouTube video and click on it. It's that simple. Okay, let's talk about the indefinite no contact rule. So in order to understand what the indefinite no contact rule is, we must first understand the different types of no contact rules. In all, there are 3 main types of no contact rules that you may be considering using on your ex. You have the standard no contact rule, the limited no contact rule, and the indefinite no contact rule. Now, each type of no contact rule has certain modifications that need to be used in different types of situations. So what I'd like to do really quickly is go through each of the 3 types of no contact rules and tell you why you should be using them and if you should be using them. Let's start with our basic standard no contact rule. So this is a no contact rule that you're going to use if you want to try to get your ex back. You're simply going to ignore your ex no matter what situation you're in for 30 to 45 days. And the end goal is always the same. Number 1, you're trying to make your ex miss you, and number 2, you're trying to reshape your life in the way that you want it to be shaped. So by the end of the no contact rule, when you actually do get back in touch with your ex, he or she is looking at you in a new way. The limited no contact rule is where things kind of get a bit interesting. If you look at the standard no contact rule and the limited no contact rule, there really is no difference between the 2. Both are trying to attempt to make an ex miss you while at the same time cultivating your own personal life. But there's one caveat with the limited no contact rule. Not everyone can just cut their ex out of their life entirely. Some people have children with their ex, some people work with their ex, some people live with their ex. So a limited no contact rule is essentially the same thing as a standard no contact rule, except in situations where contact is unavoidable, you can break it for just that moment. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say that you and your ex share a child together, and your child gets injured on the playground and you have to rush your child to the hospital. That is a situation where you are allowed to tell your ex and break a no contact rule, because that is something that is important that they need to know. Now, some people can take advantage of this. Some people will actually sit there and literally try to come up with excuses to break the no contact rule. That's why it's important for me to tell you that you are only allowed to break a limited no contact rule to talk to your ex in unavoidable circumstances. And now we reach perhaps the most interesting version of the no contact rule, the indefinite no contact rule. So I thought a lot about how I wanted to define the indefinite no contact rule, because it's something that I've never talked about before. So ultimately, I think the best way to define it is by looking at the dictionary's definition of what indefinite means. The dictionary defines indefinite as lasting for an unknown or unstated length of time. So here's where things get interesting. Let's say that you want to get your ex back and you decide that you're going to use a standard no contact rule on them. But at some point throughout the process, maybe on day 21 or day 25, you start kind of thinking, you know what, I kind of actually enjoy my time here in the no contact rule. So 30 days goes by and you're feeling like you're in a great place emotionally and physically. So you sit there and think, you know what, I kind of don't want to talk to my ex. So what do? Well, when your time to actually break the no contact rule is up, you actually don't break the no contact rule. You let it go for an indefinite amount of time. You don't know when your no contact rule will end. It's just indefinite. It could be any amount of time. The key thing is it puts the ball in your court. When you feel ready to reach out to your ex, you can do that. And some people, I'd say around half the people who take the no contact rule seriously, by the end of the no contact rule, they're not interested in getting their ex back anymore. they just want to stay in no contact for an indefinite amount of time. They don't want to talk to their ex again at all. So let's dig deeper on this. Are there certain rules that you need to abide by to do an indefinite no contact rule? Well, actually, there are two things that you need to do if you are going to do an indefinite no contact rule. The first rule is very, very straightforward. You start off with a standard no contact rule or a limited no contact rule. You see that thing through to the very end. If you have decided you're going to do a 30-day standard no contact rule, you go the 30 days before you make a decision on whether or not you want to stay in indefinite no contact, whether or not you want it to last for 150 days or 31 days. Ultimately, the decision's up to you, but here's the important thing that we've noticed over the years. Your mind throughout the no contact rule will constantly change. You maybe one week will want your ex to talk to you more than anything, and the next don't want anything to do with them, and then the next the pendulum will swing back to the other side where you want to talk to them again. That's completely normal, but that's why it's important to see the whole thing through to the end of your no contact period, because by that time you will have sort of cleared up the emotions or the crazy chemicals going on in your brain, making you have these crazy sort of mood swings enough to make a logical decision on whether or not staying in no contact is a good idea for you. The second hard, fast rule to indefinite no contacts are before you make your decision on whether or not to extend your no contact period because you're liking it, you need to be in a better place emotionally. They often say when emotions run high, logic runs low, and that certainly is the case during a no contact period. You don't want to make a decision emotionally. You want to make it logically. So what do I mean by being in a better place emotionally? What are some of the things that you should be doing during the no contact rule? Well, a lot of people kind of take this the wrong way. They sit on their hands and don't do anything during the no contact period, but that's sort of missing the point. The point is to have an active no contact rule. You're doing things to dramatically improve your life. You're not focusing on your ex. You're not making them priority number one. You're making you priority number one. Off the top of my head, here are some of the things that you want to have accomplished during your no contact period before you make a decision whether or not you should go indefinite. First, you should find a safe space to let your emotions out. Something like our private Facebook community is perfect for this. Next, you should take control of the areas of your life that you haven't been able to. Then, you need to treat yourself right. And then finally, make sure you're eating and sleeping properly. So let's do a quick recap on when you should be making your decision through the indefinite no contact rule. So the first rule is always, if you're doing a standard no contact rule, you need to see that standard no contact rule through to the very end before you make your decision. And even if you've seen it through to the very end, if you haven't sort of taken control of your life and are in a better place emotionally, you need to extend it to make sure that you have done those things. After you've done those two things, will you be able to make a decision whether or not to stop the no contact rule and get back in touch with your ex, or keep going through the no contact rule an indefinite period of time until you either feel like breaking the no contact rule or you just stay in it permanently. Truly is up to you. Hey, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you haven't already, make sure you stop everything you're doing and take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple 2-minute quiz designed to tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. Just look in the description link and click on the link if you want to really fast track your way to the quiz. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and like and comment on our videos. We appreciate every one of you who do that. Thank you. I'll see you next time.